Welcome to Unboxing Bullet Love. I'm not immune to the internet, and this game has been hyped to the high heavens by literally every influencer or wannabe influencer on the planet. Get this game, it is awesome because it has asymmetric characters and it's very fast and easy to set up. So looking into the secondary market, because the shops didn't sell this, it was out of stock. I found a secondary market copy, and um, apparently this is not a game that uh, um, board game aficionados are exclusively to, because what I got turned out to be a bit of damage here along the side, and you can see also here on the inner part. Aside from that, I had to because once you see this, you can't unsee it. Aside from that, I had to count all the components. What you get is the retail version, so the secondary market retail version with the crappy tokens, which I will show in a minute. Here is the manual. I'll go through the manual later. Just first an overview of all the components. Um, you get this kind of sheets. They are for the tokens and they fall by the arrow downwards. And if they hit here, then they slide over to the health spaces of the heroine. So this is one. You get some kind of reference sheet. Well, for setting up, you're loading the center. Center is the. They have all these weird names because I read the manual yesterday evening in bed. They have these weird names, but center is the whitish bag. So every copy has a whitish bag. The coin tokens go from 1 to 4. One of these bald dudes on the internet claimed that he drew a lot of 5s, but there are not 5s in the game. Then you see here that your board area is comprised of 3 parts. One is the thing that I just showed. This is the heroine with the arrow pointing to the health, and these things vary a lot. And with this character also goes the incoming, and the incoming has printed out skills. So this is what you'll set up every time. So once you actually start to set up and play, then you'll see that this makes sense, but it doesn't make sense right now. I'll put it on the side. Next up, we have the the box didn't close up because when you put it on the side, this bag of all the tokens, which you can see here, there are 140 tokens. Each one is a bullet, called a bullet. I think I had 139 and I found the last one and I just can't find it anymore. So it's a very tricky game that you have to take care of not losing one of these tokens. So we're going through that soon. This is your personal dice bag that you're drawing from. It's just cloth, it's nice, and it has some cat hairs or baby hairs from my previous owner that I'll have to remove. I usually don't buy games from the secondary market. and this will be also fair warning that you have to ask for some kind of reassurance that he has counted the stuff. The game comes for it's for 1 to 4 players, so there are 4 of these personal dice bags, token draw string bags, or whatever you want to call them. I'll put them back again. So now the fourth one is here. The game comes with special tokens. This is for the intensity. This is for your energy. 1 for each player. So there are 4. This is for the boss. Special skills. Then you have another part. These are for team play. So you're not going to use this, and this was the original crappy Ziploc bag. It's too large. Unless you make sure that it's evenly distributed, and then it will be flatter. But yeah, it's not an ideal solution. Here you have the same kind of stuff. I think these are upgrades for the black skill parts, and I think they are for player versus player. The idea is that you draw them blindly on specific points in the game. I don't think it is for solo, and this review is just for solo. And all these reviewer influencers, they got the game for free, so don't you forget that, which means they don't have the problem with availability, they don't have the problem with having to cough up import taxes. And this is one that I paid 40 euros for, including the damaged top box. These also came in dice, in Ziplocs, and what I did was making paper wrappers, simple strips of paper. And one thing that you'll notice from the game, let's see, for example, this thing. So this is Fiery Hellion of Demon Street. This doesn't look like a heroine. This is like a heroine, Akagi. She has only 2 life. So you can play against the boss, but you never can play against the same boss, which makes it natural that you have the boss pattern parts here, and the so you have the boss pattern and the normal patterns. So the heroine patterns and the boss patterns should be together, I think. Boss pattern. So I'm not sure if this is optimal or this is optimal. I think this makes more sense, because you can then search for the name, but you can also go visual and look for the image, but the image doesn't really show well when you use paper wrappers. Now this is one of the most crappy inserts that I've ever seen. So these things, and there should be a divider. There are 4 kinds of sizes. So when you play multiplayer, then you have this thing. This thing has absolutely no... You can't... How does it work? I mean, how can you organize things like that? So the box is too large, and it's not well thought of. That's the first red flag. Then I have some other problems. So here you have all these unwieldy things. So it's the incoming active pattern that belongs to the Fugazi miner. And then there is, I mean, how are you going to Fugazi miner? Also the Yakuza. Did we have the Yakuza? Yakuza and Ryakagi. So the greenish thing is for the heroine, the reddish thing is for the boss. So you have here the Adelheid. Oh, and the icon here also indicates if it's easy to play or hard to play. A hard is of course easier to play than star. It's well explained in the rulebook. I'll go through the rulebook later. Yeah, so there should be some kind of a better divider here. I mean, these things make no sense. If you had a divider in the middle, then you could put these on the side, or at least on 1/3 here you could make a division. So these things are slippery and unwieldy. Searching through them for the setup. I mean, the gameplay is easy, but the setup is tedious. Now let's go through all these things. So you have the pattern for the chick and the boss pattern for the evil side, as to say. This is another and another. This is supposed to be some kind of board game implementation of things like bullet hell, and that's a genre of games. Probably I've been sleeping under a rock or something, because I never heard of bullet hell games, but I had this old game when I was a kid called Lamatron, and it was some kind of bullet hell on the Atari ST. It's probably